Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Happy Friday to you. We made it. The week is through and we're heading into the weekend for Raid Shadow Legends. Now, the hot topic in this video is going to be the guaranteed summoning event for Allsgor that is going on right now. It's the first time in a long time that we've had a guaranteed event. So I want to do a deep dive discussion about who it makes sense for to pull or not to pull and all that. We'll take a look at him as a champion and see if it's worth it or not worth it for you, depending on your account and where you stand and all of that, while we also cover all the other stuff happening in game as we switch into the weekend. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so as far as news stuff, that it's kind of like the end of the week. Plarium tends to go a little bit AFK from like midday Friday until Monday, so there isn't going to be a whole lot of craziness going on to really announce. You had the Call of the Arbiter episode go live yesterday. I've got a dedicated video here on the channel breaking that down if you want to check it out. It's like my last video before this one, but the main topic of this video is going to be the guaranteed champion event around Allsgor, because there is a lot to talk about regarding that. And that event is going to be going on over the weekend. You can see here it says that it's got like the 2.5 days left. And the unfortunate thing is that it takes 180 ancient shards. And we've got this tracked on the website as far as like all of the guaranteed events. And the reason I talked about this a little bit in the video yesterday, so I won't harp on this too much, but a big reason that this is a bummer in the raid community is because there is a big inflation taking place on the amount of ancient shards required to pull the champion. You can see they did really good champions back in the day, like Stultus and Canderfon and Lady Kimmy for like 150 ancients, but now they bump it all the way. It's not even like to 160. It's all the way up to 180. It's almost a full Mercy iteration to get one champion as part of an event. So it is a pretty steep price. And if I had to guess, it's gonna cost them a little bit because, someone like me, I'm probably not gonna pull for Allsgor. If it was 150, I would consider it, but the problem is that Jetney wasn't really hype enough of a fusion for people to, or like a fragment event for people to really be excited. Like Jetney wasn't Mighty Uko or Pythion or Nishok or one of these champions that people were really hyped up to go after. So I think that's going to hurt them a little bit in the tandem champion being something that people are willing to deal with inflation to get. But let's say you did go for the Jetney fragments. What do you get by going for Allsgor? So you're going to get the A2 here. The AoE defense break will not be able to be resisted. So that's kind of nice. You're going to get a lot more guaranteed value. But I mean, when are you going to use them both in the same team? I guess like Faction Wars, but you don't really need it for there. So like you'd have to use them both in like the live arena. And then her AoE defense break would be really handy, I guess. And then you also get grant an extra turn if the attack kills an enemy. That's actually really good. Granting extra turns and snowballing is amazing, especially on somebody that has 2 AoE abilities. And then on the passive, you will completely ignore shields, with bolster and stuff becoming meta in things like the live arena. That can be really strong as well, but you'd have to use them both. They would take up 2 of your team slots, so they have to be a very, very strong combo, something like Marichka and Terrace, to really justify taking up the 2 slots. And then for Allsgor, he's going to be a little bit more of a utility support because he's got the AoE buff strip, which is really nice. Now, it's not a full buff strip. It is removing 2 random ones from all enemies. But if you have Jetney on the same team, it does remove all buffs, even if it lands a weak hit. So it is actually a pretty solid combo for sure, because that ability is really good on a 3-turn cooldown, because it's also going to heal your allies, and he is a tanky champion scaling with HP. Then you get the full target heal that's going to place a block damage on all allies for 2 turns. Now this books to a 4-turn cooldown, so there's some cool things that can happen here. If you don't have Roshkard or Sir Nicholas or Helikath, this would fill a good role in the game for your account, because you could build certain like Iron Twins 15 compositions and stuff that would help you progress into that content. So honestly, I would say that's the person that this event would make the most sense for. Would be the person that did the fragments for Jetney and also does not have a reliable way to have this mechanic on their account, this AoE block damage on your whole team for 2 turns. Like I said, if you don't have someone who does that, Helikath, Roshkard, etc., that is the person that I think the Allsgor event would make the most sense for. So yeah, they're a solid duo and would be kind of fun to play around with. And Allsgor does have some good utility with the heals and the self-sustain and the AoE buff strip and the block damage. It is kind of some fun mechanics that they bring to the table. I don't think it's worth justifying like the massive inflation, especially for someone like me. I've got the capabilities with the Helicath and all of those compositions, and I've got enough of the AoE buff strippers on my account that I'm not really going to be rolling into the live arena with Allsgor and a Jetney. So it's not really going to make sense for me personally to pull the 180 ancient shards. I'd rather wait and hold off for the guaranteed events or the bonus events when you're close to a mercy system or the next fusion / fragment champion that we'll probably find out in the next 2 weeks or so what that is. So personally, I'm not going to pull for Allsgor, but if you've got the resources to do so and you do not have an AoE block damage, possibly consider it. But yeah, then for the tournaments and events, we've got a Dragon tournament. We've also got some super raids going on for Dragon. I would say, maybe getting to 1525 is pretty handy because you get the 200 coins right there. It's just kind of a normal Dragon tournament though. And then the Classic Arena Takedown starting tomorrow is going to be a normal tournament as well. For the events happening in game, it's kind of like the end of the Jetney stuff. You've got the Dungeon Divers and the Artifact Enhancement stuff happening over the course of the weekend. And then there is a champion training event going on right here with like the Aethel artwork in honor of the Aethel episode yesterday. Also today, the new Doom Tower is launching, the Dark Fae Doom Tower, Dark Fae Astronix, whatever you want to call her, the final boss of the Doom Tower, where you can get those GG lethal pieces to craft in the Forge. So definitely check your progress missions and go up the proper tier first, either normal or hard, which one is going to need a Doom Tower floor clear first. You want to kind of check your progress missions and double dip on that. And then for the offers, is there anything worth going over? We have a special string pack. No, okay, that's not gonna be good with the sacreds. 9 for 10 for 5. Special void pack, 11 for 30. Yeah, again, these are all just like average offers. And then 15 for 17. Yeah, purchase them at 5. Again, just an average offer. And then the Aethel power pack over the course of 3 days. Again, just everything in here is like about a 1.0. There isn't anything super noteworthy. It's all kind of like normal par for the course kind of stuff. I don't think any of this warrants a deep dive, and I don't think there's anything special in here that you should feel bad about missing out on or something. So alrighty, let me know if you agree or disagree with my take on if you should be pulling for Allsgor or not. Always enjoy hearing your perspectives, and I may throw up a poll over on the community tab to see what percentage of you are going to be pulling for him. I'm going to go ahead and go on record before I host the poll. I'm going to ask like if you're going to pull for Allsgor or not, and I'm going to guess that the poll will end up being 7%. I'm gonna say 7% of people are going to pull for Allsgor. That's my final prediction. Lock it in, and we'll go ahead and host it and see how it ends up shaking out. But yeah, I appreciate all of you. Have a fantastic weekend. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content, and I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.